All right, guys, here we are. Another home match for us, this time against Everton. Everton is mid-table. We are up in third position, which is extremely good considering the competition. And there are a couple of notable legendary players, not least of which is Wayne Rooney, who's up front for them. So we'll see what happens. Oh, here it says we're in second, either second or third. One place said third, another place said second. And Everton, as you can see there, we're in mid-table. So we'll see what happens. It doesn't really matter to us exactly whether we're in a third or second place, because what matters is that we can get to the Champions Group in the second half of the season. And as long as we can do that, we'll be just fine. And hopefully we'll be able to scrounge up enough money to pay for all the players that we just bought. Fernandes is tackled, and that leads to a good attempt here by Everton. And Levi Yashin, fortunately, is equal to the task, able to grab that ball. And I tell you, every time I do a Mars FC match and then do one of these, I'm just like, I forget how fast it is. It's like a completely different game. Levi Yashin over to Tresor, over to Casemiro, Mount, now Tresor, over to De Vici. Casemiro now, Fernandes. Fans are upset about De Vici, I should say. Here's Fernandes, though, with it, and he tries to shoot instead of passing. Probably should have passed one back a little bit. De Vici has received the fans' ire for not playing as well as they think he should. I mean, they'll always complain about something. You know, in this kind of league, we find ourselves in, what was it, second place, and we have fans who are complaining. So go figure. Here's a throw in from Sancho, and he throws it to nobody. What was that? What was that? And that leads to Wayne Rooney with a almost wide open counter attack, but fortunately we're able to get back on that and get the ball back. Lev Yashin with it now. Passes to David over to Bauer. Bauer to Edwards. Edwards down to Law. Law up to Fernandes, and here he is. And there's the first goal. Bruno Fernandes, number 5 of the season, assisted by Dennis Law, and it was as easy as that, and we are up 1-0, and all is right again with the world. So 1-0 here, Manchester United on top, and he was wide open. He put it in the back of the net, and then he follows up. We're not going to see it, but he does a great somersault after walking straight through the goalie. There it is. And that was that somersault, and isn't the animation wonderful? Would be nice, I'm thinking FM23, if they can make it so that your guy can't just, like, you know, walk into the other player and disappear, which is what just happened there. Law with the header, and I guess that was a shot. I'm not quite sure exactly what that was supposed to be, but I guess that counts as a shot. And here come Everton, and Rooney's shot, fortunately for us, is off target. It's dangerous when he gets the ball. So that's what happens with these legendary players, and that's the sort of league that we're in. Boy, we'll be up to first place here. I'm not sure what's happening to PSG. They must be drawing. And PSG, as you can imagine, are extremely good. So we get this ball back to Casemiro, over to Best. Best back to Bauer, over to Casemiro again. And here it is to Edwards, who I think is onside, but his shot is deflected out for a corner. So it's another corner for us, up only 1-0. We got to be used to that here. Again, it's hard to go from Mars FC to go back to the world of close matches. After with Mars FC, I feel like every other match we're up like 3-0, 4-0 after like 20 minutes. Here's Bruno Fernandes, and he knocks this one forward, and it is headed out again. Sancho with it, and boy, that was a great save by the keeper. Man, oh man. Highlights galore in this one. And we are unfortunately just not able to score. And there is a header by McNeil, I think it was, that's just over the goal. Fortunately for us, here's the pass to Best. Best, back to Bauer. De Vici now. Up to Casemiro and over to Tresor. Poor pass from Casemiro. Tresor to De Vici, back to Casemiro to Fernandes. Poor pass, I say. It doesn't matter if nothing happens to it and it's not intercepted. It looks like the best pass in the world. Here's Law. Law back to Edwards, and that should have been a goal. Boy, that was deflected. And unfortunately, they're able to clear it out. So we've had a number of attempts here, and that was very, very close to being a goal. Dennis Law, you know, for playing out of position, is actually doing quite well. And yeah, that was deflected by Edward, or by the man covering Edwards. But that looked like it had a real chance, and that was, I think, a real opportunity for us. So 1-0, the score remains. Good game so far by, I think it's Law and Best of all people. George Best finally figuring out how to play the position. It's back to Levi Yashin, over to Bauer. Down to Edwards, Casemiro. Up to Sancho, and he gets by his men. Yes, he does. He does get by him and runs with the best of them over to Casemiro. Pass to Law, and then over to Best. Best needs to score that, and instead it is a save. Sancho with it now. And there was another cross that was, I think, intended for Law, and unfortunately that was intercepted. So I'm not sure which one of these we're seeing here. This, I think, is Best with the attempt. Yeah, there he was. Yeah, Jordan Pickford, always going to be able to make a save. The fact that we got one past him, I think, is pretty good in itself. Law with it over to Trésor, down to Bauer, and to Best. Law. And it's going to go back to Best here as we run that triangle again. Back to Edwards, up to Casemiro, and his shot is also saved. Man, that's an amazing save. So we keep attacking that goal, and we can't seem to get one by quite yet. Fernandes with the corner over to Bauer, and that also is a great save. And man, that was Wayne Rooney who got himself in front of that shot. I mean, look at this quality of this save. It's just incredible that he was able to stop that. Rooney was got himself behind or in front of the shot by De Vici, I should say, and so we're a little bit frustrated here, and we got to worry a little bit about these fitness levels too, as Jadon Sancho looks like he's feeling a little bit tired. We'll give him a little bit of a break here at halftime and see how he looks. We're going to put him back out for a little bit longer. I think we just gave them the fans are behind you talk, which is, of course, the team talk that's my least favorite in Football Manager, and it always seems to work. But I'm like, who cares about what the fans say? They're going to pay anyway, even if we suck. Yeah, I mean, what's the point in telling them that, How about get out there and win, you doofuses? Let's get the ball back. Here's De Vici with it. Over to Bauer. To Fernandes. Back to De Vici. De Vici finds Sancho. That's bad from Jadon Sancho. I think he's feeling tired. I think we may need to take him out. We were just looking at him a second ago, and that led to a counterattack right away. And I do think we're going to have to pause. We're going to have to make a change here because that was not acceptable. Not acceptable from Sancho. And they're saying we could put him on Monseglio. I'm not sure about that decision. We kind of need him to play in the back, but I'm looking through and I'm trying to see who else we have to play down on the right side. And I think that our man Giggs is still injured. I think that's who we would normally bring in. So we'll give this a try, see if Monseglio can do it. I'm very, very reluctant to do that, knowing how good Everton can be. And we only have the 1-0 lead. So we'll see what we can do. Here's Fernandes, and his shot is saved by Pickford. Man, what a save that was. So, let's see what we can do here. It's knocked back to Bauer, Edwards, Best, Law. Bauer again, Best. Best moves it to the center of the pitch, looking for Mount. Can't find him. Casemiro almost gets himself sent off for that tackle. And, man, Edwards almost scores a shot from the middle of nowhere. And, I mean, that's a missile that's coming at you, way off radar, and he saves it anyway. Fernandes, I mean, I feel like if there was a fly running in on goal, I think Pickford could probably pick it off. De Vici called for the tackle. That's a really weak call. After the sort of tackles we've seen so far in this match, I can't believe they called that as a foul. And so let's see what we can do, see if we can stop them here. Remember, we are playing a player out of position there on the right wing-back side. Law over to Fernandes. And how is that not a foul? And yet, a second ago, we barely tapped the guy, and we're called for a foul right away. I don't understand that. And this is Wayne Rooney, who is fouled, and that's a penalty. Monseglio, playing out of position, has made a very, very poor decision. He's trying to argue about this. That's going to end up being a penalty. Because he grabbed his jersey from what I saw. I mean, the game doesn't represent it very well, but that's what it looked like. It looked like he went and bear hugged him. So, you can't do that. Monseglio gets the yellow card for the play. Fortunately, it wasn't particularly violent, but it was about to be 1-1 in a second here, and there it is, 1-1. So Wayne Rooney scores the penalty and looked very confident in doing so. 1-1 now the score, and I was about to say we should go sign Rooney. Probably shouldn't, actually, because I think that we have more than our fair share of good attacking players. What we need are players who can play defense, and especially can play on the wing. Mason Mount here with this corner, and it is headed away. Bruno Fernandes now takes a shot from range, and unfortunately that is way out, and that comes to nothing. And so it's another opportunity that we've wasted, and we need to take a look here, speaking of good players, and make some substitutions here on the bench. We have some guys who are looking really, really tired. George Best, it would be great if we could bring him off. They're telling me maybe Eriksson could come on for him, so we'll give that a shot and just sort of see what happens, play him out of position as well. Trésor will come off for probably Martinez. Casemiro will come off for Pogba. That's 4. And then we need some scoring power. We have a good games so far from some of these guys, but we want to pull the big guy on. So Pele will come on. He'll play here in the middle. Let's see if Pele can do something here to change the match. About 20 minutes left. Throw in from Eriksson, playing out of position, to Law. And then he's tackles the other guy back, and then he gives up on it. Then he wins the ball back here. Law over to Martinez, De Vici, Pogba, Martinez, Fernandez, Pogba. And Fernandez wins it back. Martinez, De Vici over to Edwards, back to Bauer, to Eriksson, to Law, back to Eriksson. Eriksson over to Bauer. And so what is it that we're trying to do here, guys? There we go. Fernandez over to Law, and that's the goal. That's the goal, and that's his first of the season. So it's 2-1 now for Manchester United. Dennis Law finally gets his first goal of the season. Now, he hasn't played that much, I suppose, but we finally get something going. And so I'm wondering here, when we look at this, is everybody sort of clustered around Pele, and that's how we got open? Not really. That would have probably 3 different guys that could have scored that goal. So it's 2-1 now for Manchester United. We finally figure out Pickford, and the question is, can we hold on? Eriksson with the throw to Pele, back to Bauer. Bauer to Eriksson. Bauer. And there's a pass to Law to Fernandez, and that almost was a goal. I thought almost that went in. That was just to the side of the net, and from this angle, at least, it looked like that was probably going to go in. So we have about, 10 minutes or so left. Another poor match from De Vici, and so the fans are going to be upset with me again for that signing, since I've put the club basically into debt to get him. Man, we had Pickford way out of position. If we only had a player who was up there sort of spying on him, we could have had something there. Law over to Fernandez. Here is Fernandez. Does he see Pele? Does he see him? Now over to Monseglio, who sees Law, and Law's header is off. So we got about 5 minutes left in this match. Let's see what we can do here. We have to play defense here. And fortunately, their shot is way up and above. About 5 minutes of added time here. This would be a great victory for us if we do pull it off, even though it's a home match. And there we go. This is going to be the final whistle here. Pickford kicks it forward, so no action there at the end. And we've done it. We have won this one. 14 shots on target compared to 2 for them, but only the 2-1 victory, 2.69 XG. And we have 65% of the possession. That's, I think, the first time we've had anything like that here so far in this save. So doing pretty well, and that's what we like to see. We have emerged victorious. I'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye-bye.